You done, hun? Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to choose the best grad scheme for you. Now, I think I'm probably about 2 months late for the window for the 21-22 grad schemes, but you know what? Someone in a few years' time might find this video and find it helpful. So let's get started. So there are a few things that you should be looking for when you're looking for your grad scheme. Number one, do they support you through the APC? Now, this isn't just financially, though that is a very big factor to consider because the APC is not cheap. And ideally, you want somewhere that's financially going to support you through it. But what I mean by support is, are they going to provide you with a supervisor and a counsellor in-house? Are they going to put on CPD sessions for you? Are they going to help you with mock interviews when it comes to that stage? You need someone who is going to help you through the whole process because it is not easy. And doing it on its own makes it so much harder. Number two, do you get to rotate seats? Now, like with a law graduate contract, a lot of graduate surveyor contracts mean that you rotate seats every 6 months. So you end up doing around 4 seats in 4 different areas of the business. And this can be really helpful to help you gain an insight into what part of surveying you want to go into in the future, as well as providing you with really good experience and a wide range of examples to include within your APC. So ideally you're looking for somewhere where you can move around in a few departments a bit, and it's also a great way of networking and getting to know people in and around the business and making friends, which if you're moving to a new city is a really important thing as well. Number three is salary and pay increases. First of all, graduate salaries are never going to be amazing, but can you realistically live on that for however long you're meant to live on it? Which then feeds into my second point of, will you get an incremental pay rise at any point during your 2 years, or do you have to wait to become chartered to get a pay rise? And if so, roughly what does that pay rise look like? Because I know a lot of people who enter the surveying world may have some kind of financial backing. I'm probably making a massive generalization there, but it's also kind of true. Whereas I didn't have any money behind me to help me pay my rent on those months where I really struggled to make ends meet, and that made it very difficult for me in those first few months after I'd moved to London and I was on a graduate salary. So it's something to definitely take into account. And if you need to have a couple of months before the training contract starts where you are working like a dog in a pub at home, we've all been there, I'm afraid. It's not very fun, but... Number four, how many grads do they take every year? Is there a fairly large intake? Do they do a starting day for you all? Do you sort of get to do team activities with grads, or is it just within your own team? What is the social circle like at the firm? Because, I mean, pre-COVID this is. Hopefully a little bit in a post-COVID world as well. God, do we dare to dream about a post-COVID world? Your work colleagues are the people that you spend the majority of your time with. You know, you pick your partner, you pick your friends, you've got your family, but the sad truth is you spend about 9 hours 5 days a week with your colleagues. So it's important that you get on with them and make sure they're a nice bunch of people and that they're willing to do the things that you want to do. If that's the pub on Friday night, then great. Or if that's organising formal CPD sessions or going to see some cool architecture or something like that, then make sure that it's your kind of vibe. I think this is fading out a bit more now, but a lot of the bigger institutions I think have been known for the grad scene to be a bit sort of party and out 3 or 4 nights a week maybe. And if that's not your scene, then you know there's nothing wrong with that, and don't let that stop you applying to a really big consultancy. But also bear it in mind that if that's what the working culture is like and you're not like that, maybe it's not somewhere you want to spend 2 years, especially the first 2 years of your working life. Number 5 is location. Now I know this might sound daft, but do you want to work in London? Okay, fab. Where do you want to work in London? Do you want to work in the city? Do you want to work in the West End? Do you want to work in Canary Wharf? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to live? Do you not want to work in London? Do you want to work in Manchester? Do you want to work in Bristol? A lot of the big firms will have London offices, which is where their graduate scheme will be run from, but they will also have regional offices in a lot of other cities. Now, that's not to say that they won't be able to offer you a graduate position and put you through your APC, but it might not be a formal graduate process. So it's worth making inquiries if there's a specific consultancy that you want to work for that has a regional office and you don't want to go to London, because if you don't ask, you don't get. There's always opportunities out there, so don't be put off by the fact that it seems like everything is in London, because it isn't. The world does not revolve around that. Kind of does. They're never going to let me back into the north when they hear me saying that. And those are just my 5 quick fire top tips for looking for a graduate surveying position. There are hundreds more individualized tips that I could give you based on a specific consultancy or a specific application process. So if anyone has any questions or wants any help or anything like that, leave me a comment in the comment section below, or get in touch with me via my contact section in the description box below. Thanks very much.